Alright, sorry about the Blair Witch Project looking setup. Right now I'm just using a very flimsy tripod with an extendable arm to try and bend the phone down to face the drawing. But I'm just going to do a brief shading tutorial to basically get you shading from this to this. Now, could I have done better with this? Sure. But at the same time, this was just originally a sketch. You know, between myself and I guess the dark artwork community, the dark artwork community on Reddit, that is, I suck at portrait drawing, meaning I suck at getting proportions right. I'm still learning it, however, so I might just do more sketches and post the sketches on the subreddit rather than completed drawings. So I'm going to cover this half of the face now, so I don't want to smear anything. So material that I like to use is the Graph Gear 1000 Pentel 0.3mm lead pencil. For me, I use HB lead, which is basically a number 2 pencil, just with very, very thin lead. I use the Tombow Mono Eraser. This is a great mechanical eraser, and you can always use a knife to sharpen the edges to create highlights, smaller highlights. You know, for making pores, any other details like wrinkles in the skin. I might make a video going over how to draw realistic skin. I'm still learning, however. I'm still trying to get the patterns down. Another thing you want to use is a makeup brush. This is e.l.f. Concealer. This is really good at blending. I use this to blend smaller drawings. I rarely ever use a larger makeup brush because it tends to smear out all the graphite you put in one area over the entire drawing. So it's just going to look flat. Whereas if I use a smaller brush and just blend in certain smaller areas, then of course, you know, I can keep the graphite in that area and make everything look smooth. So, you know, first and foremost, I already did a layer here. I just did one layer, went over this with a different pencil, but what I like to do is I like to go over the lines again. Specifically, I'm going to just do the eye here for this video, because this video will get too long if I try anything else. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Note, I'm not trying to be super detailed here because I'm going to just blend everything. Also, I can tell the lead is a little jagged right now, so I'm trying not to press too hard into the paper. Cat is not allowed on the table. Sorry about that. Cat is not supposed to be on the table. And that is where I'm drawing. Now for eyes, I usually like to go with the pattern of, you know, drawing some lines that go, basically point outwards, radially outwards. Now this isn't always going to be the case. It depends on which eye you draw. Typically for eyes, I just like to go with this pattern. And usually it'll be blended up anyway whenever I use the makeup brush. And I'll just go back over with I'll go back over with my eraser to create some highlights in the eye to give the detail. And going back over again, the outer part of the eye. I'm shading the top part of the eye dark because that's where, you know, Vecna, basically this creature's name, is basically creating a large crease, you know, because he's basically creating an angry or agitated face. So he's covering part of his eye, so there's going to be some shading there. Dark to light. And also note, this takes time to do, I guess, this level of control where you go just light or dark to light. Like for me, I'll go dark and ease up on the pressure and then go back to light. Note, for the eye, I would not try to darken the whole outline, darken only parts of it. One thing my art teacher did teach me in high school was that you can get away with a lot with just making a few small dark areas, or just a few actual lines on your drawing, which will make the drawing pop. And that's what I've continued to use since. You know, that was really the only, that and also trying to use as few lines as possible, but now I'm just kind of careless and use a bunch of lines. But I draw them lightly so I can just erase them. So you know, that works out. As for the detail in the eye, there were a bunch of creases going all over the place because then again, Vecna is no longer human. So I'm not really worrying too much about, hey, does this look like a realistic human eye? That's not really the case here. I do know for drawing realistic eyes, there is a diamond-shaped pattern to the creases, or like for here, the creases will go from the nose and then branch upwards towards the eye and eventually kind of just taper off a little bit. They won't really show up as much down in the cheek area, so you don't have to worry about that. And of course, there's some crossing patterns over here as well as the eye kind of, or as the eyelid droops down a little bit. But, so let's, I've been talking for quite a while. Let's see what it looks like when I blend. Now I'm blending the darker regions carefully. Notice that I'm only using the tip of the makeup brush. I'm not trying to smear everything over the entire area because I don't want to lose that contrast. So this part you will have to be careful. If you want, you can even get a smaller makeup brush and do that. I do want to make this part a little dark. Going back over the outer edge of the iris because we want that part dark. And then we're just going to blend the rest of the graphite in the iris. Now this part's going to be all dark, so that's fine. We can just blend the graphite all over here. So it still looks kind of flat. Well, let's go ahead and fix that. Let's add a couple highlights. We add a highlight here. By the way, you want to carefully go over with the eraser to get the details of the iris. Now, this is a very small scale drawing, so I'm not going to be super picky about how I get everything done. This eye looks a little bit, this eye is definitely brighter than this eye. Then again, that's fine. This entire part of his face is going to be encased in shadow. So, you know, I'm not too worried about that, but I'll try to make it a little bit lighter. Okay. So, probably not what you're hoping for the entirety of the video, because then again, I don't want this to run too long. You know, again, I don't have a lot of equipment. I'm just working with basically my phone and a tripod. One thing you also might want to invest in is a sleeve for your hand where it'll cover your your pinky and your ring finger so you don't smear drawings. I'm going to order a couple of those. You know, as much as I hate ordering from Amazon, I might just have to do that because I want to be able to draw more freely without using napkins or paper to cover my hand. Now, I'm a lefty, so that, you know, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it kind of gets in the way using napkins or papers. I have also been trying to draw with my right hand, so that's good practice as well for those of you out there who want to get into drawing. You know, once you get comfortable with your dominant hand, you know, you don't have to be professional, but once you get to a point of comfort, switch it up. Use your non-dominant hand. Take a couple days out of the week, draw with your non-dominant hand, see how that goes. So that's it for this video for now. I'll probably make another video at some point talking about how to do maybe slimy textures or doing skin detail. So until then, thanks for watching, guys.